Hello and welcome to My Finance Teacher. Today we're going to talk about oil, but before we do that, let me remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give me the like for this video. I hope you will get a lot of value out of this video. And follow me on Twitter, where I will try to post something more or less every day, whereas I only post videos here on this channel once or twice or a few times a week. Now let's have a look at the chart of crude oil. Within the current intermediate cycle that started in December last year, I think we've seen the first daily cycle finish within around 49 days. The current cycle has already been going on for 45 days. And usually these cycles in crude oil, as we've seen in some of our previous videos, last for about a couple of months. So I don't think there is that much more momentum left within this short-term daily cycle in crude oil to push the price considerably higher. Plus, just a couple of dollars higher than where the crude oil is at the moment, there is a 200-day moving average over there, and I think that might prove to be somewhat of a significant resistance. And yes, over the next several days, crude oil might actually gain another couple of dollars and reach that resistance, the 200-day moving average. But to be honest, yesterday, today is 28th of March, the US markets have not opened yet at the time of making this video. So yesterday I sold the USO positions, the remaining 40% of USO positions that I had. And as I mentioned, the reason I sold the USO position is because I think even if crude oil does take several days to move up by those a couple of dollars and meet the 200-day moving average, I think it's going to bounce back down from that moving average for a couple of reasons. Firstly, as I said, it's probably going to prove to be a significant resistance zone. And secondly, it will simply be sort of a time band for a short-term daily cycle low. Crude oil will be in the usual time range of around a couple of months for that cycle to enter a declining phase and give us some sort of a cycle low. To be honest, I'm hoping to get some sort of a significant decline. I see 100-day moving average at around $53.50. And the reason I'm hoping for a significant decline in crude oil is because I still think it's generally going to be in an uptrend, this $40 or $42 low that we saw in December. I think it was a really great chance to enter the crude oil trade. And another relatively good chance to enter that trade might be a retest of the 100-day moving average. Well, I guess we'll have to see about that, but for the time being, I'm out of my USO positions. Another reason that kind of made me sell those USO positions is this S&P 500 chart. We don't see that much damage on S&P 500, but it's somewhat concerning to me. I'm not really sure how exactly to pinpoint the reason for that concern, but over the last week, S&P 500 didn't really do much good. Besides that, we see this negative divergence from RSI. The higher highs are not confirmed by this RSI here. And although the current intermediate, sort of a medium-term cycle, has only been going on for slightly over 3 months, I kind of want to be a little bit cautious with S&P 500 and see what happens. It's going back down towards the 50-day moving average, and if the highs that we saw on 21st and 22nd of March turn out to be the highs for this daily cycle, which has only been going on for around 20 days, then all the way until a normal duration for this daily cycle in S&P 500, the downtrend line will actually have quite a lot of time to give us, well, relatively low prices. There is a chance that it might break this recent low that we saw in early March. So it makes me a little bit concerned, and of course there is some sort of a correlation between S&P 500 and crude oil prices. So I for now exited my USO positions. Yesterday I sold that at the price of around 12.4. the remaining 40% of that position. But one thing to mention here is I'm not out of the crude oil investment completely. Although I'm not trading crude oil in short term or intermediate term at the moment, so I'm not holding this USO, which is the ETF that tracks crude oil price. I still have a long-term investment in a few large cap producers that I really like and that pay quite a good dividend. So in the longer term, I think crude oil is going to do well, and those producers, I hope, are going to do really well as well. So that is my opinion on crude oil. What do you guys think? Are we going to bounce up and down within this range between 200 and 100-day moving average? I think that is quite possible. Or are we going to continue up above the 200-day moving average? Or instead, are we going to drop below 100-day moving average sometime soon? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Again, let me remind you to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. That's easy enough for you guys to do. Follow me on Twitter, and I wish you good luck in your trades.